The time is 3 o'clock.
Up next is South Zulu News.
A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Radio Nigeria. South News at 3. The headlines. Residents of Alsa condemn crisis rocking Oruma and Otuasaga communities. Delta State government pledges grant to address the scourge of HIV. Release of internal messages raises more questions about safety of Boeing 737 MAX. Today's commentary is on the need for a transformed civil service to meet the expectations of Nigerians. Details in a moment. Hamilton to avoid fire outbreak. My name is Rachel Onah with the news. Now the news in full. Some people in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, have condemned the crisis rocking Oruma and Otsuasaga communities in Obia local government area of the state. The acting chairman of the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, Bayelsa State Chapter, Mr. Ikilowe Eric, who is a resident of the area, in an interview charged the communities involved in the conflict to avoid revenge killings and taking laws into their hands so as to restore peace in the area. Mr. Eric equally called on elders of Ogbia and the state government to shift into action as peace brings development. Also, a legal practitioner, Mr. Nabai Inemoa, who said in every area security is paramount, urged security agencies to be alive to their responsibilities. Mr. Inemoa, however, added that the killings and revenge killings would only aggravate the cycle of violence, creating neither safety nor security for any side. Have been attributed to the reckless spending and inability of some people to plan for the future. Some residents of Bayelsa who spoke to correspondent Ebio Alfios said January seems to be difficult for some people due to unnecessary expenditure during the festive periods. A civil servant, Mr. John Donpi, who pointed out that January is like any other month in the year, said that those lamenting that the month is hard have failed to plan. Another civil servant, Ms. Tokoni Appa, also said that the month of January is not a difficult month despite the argument in some quarters describing it as a stereotype belief system. Our core member, Ms. Peace Chisom and Mr. Arabina Tombra, stressed that planning beyond the Christmas period would help in reducing the financial burden that comes in the new year. They advised families to spend prudently and not to be carried away by the pleasures of the season. The Delta State government has pledged a sum of 100 million naira as a grant to assist in addressing the scourge of human immunodeficiency virus (HIV) in the state. The state governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, made this known at the Government House, Asaba, during the official launch of the Delta State ART Surge Response in collaboration with local and foreign partners. Ogenero Eguere reports that the governor vowed to collaborate with the State House of Assembly in intensifying efforts towards adopting the national anti-stigma law against persons living with HIV to protect the vulnerable group. The Asagba of Okmanam, Obi Adimabua Ozili, has called on governments at all levels to tackle the issue of unemployment and insecurity confronting Delta State and other parts of the country. Obi Ozili stated this in his palace in Okpanam, Oshimili North local government area of Delta State, while speaking to newsmen on his projections and expectations from government in 2020. The traditional ruler, who decried the high rate of unemployment, called on relevant bodies to evolve strategies towards alleviating the plight of the masses. He commended Delta State Governor Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa for the unprecedented infrastructural development in the state, especially in the area of road infrastructure, saying that Okpanam had benefited from roads projects. The Asagba of Okpanam said the road network in Okpanam community would continue to enhance socio-economic development of the area, while advising youths in the state, particularly those of Opanam extraction, to shun land speculation and embrace skills acquisition for self-reliance. He stressed the need for the elders of Opanam to be responsible in addressing issues facing the community. Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State has assured the people of the state of his government's commitment to enroll them in the state's health insurance scheme for the purpose of accessing quality health care at minimal or no cost. He gave the assurance at the governor's office in Calabar during a contract signing ceremony between the state government and General Electricity for completion and equipment of a specialist hospital in Obudu local government area of the state. The gesture, according to Governor Ayade, would make Cross River State the first state to provide social health insurance for those who have no income at all, pointing out that the real essence of governance was in meeting the basic needs of the people. On the specialist hospital to be built in Obudu, Professor Ayade congratulated General Electric for emerging the company to handle the project and expressed the optimism that the firm would not fail to live up to expectation. The governor charged the State Ministry of Health to ensure that the hospital upon completion was professionally operated with the right medical personnel and service to the people. General Manager West Central and French Sub-Saharan Africa of General Electric, Mr. Enyong Eboy, had earlier assured the governor that his firm would work tirelessly to meet the mandate given to it to deliver. He commended Governor Ayade for his commitment to delivering healthcare facilities and services to the people of the state. Here are stories in the bulletin so far. Residents of Bayelsa State condemn crisis rocking Oruma and Otua Saga communities. Delta State government pledges a grant to address the scourge of HIV. Still ahead, release of internal messages raises more questions about safety of Boeing 737 MAX, plus business, entertainment, sports, commentary, and weather. Do stay with us. You're welcome back. The news continues. Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOMAN, says it is engaging the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, the Central Bank of Nigeria, and other relevant stakeholders on the 15 Naira stamp duty charge introduced by the CBN. For details of this and more on business news, let's join Austin Ine.
Chief Executive Officer and Executive Secretary.
News: the release of a batch of internal messages raises more questions about the safety of Boeing's 737 MAX as senior officials from the U.S. military's Africa Command visit a military base in Kenya. Victoria Alheri has more news from the foreign scene. Alheri tests published by Nigerian media as Oprah Winfrey denies having anything to do with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's decision to step back from their roles as senior royals. Anietie Akban has more on entertainment.
Nigerian singer YQ is certainly not satisfied with the decade least.
The Nigeria Premier League action returns this weekend as the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) confirms its interest with CAF to replace Congo as the 2020 Africa Women's Cup of Nations (AWCON) hosts. Okay, Onwobono brings us up to speed.
Nigeria Professional Football League action returns this weekend.
Today's commentary is on the need for a transformed civil service to meet the expectations of Nigerians, written by Samuel Ruse of Radio Nigeria Charity FM Asaba. That commentary on the need for a transformed civil service to meet the expectations of Nigerians was written by Samuel Ruse of Radio Nigeria Charity FM Asaba and read by Mokwelola Okay. To end Radio Nigeria, South Samson known as A3, a recap of the major items. Residents of Bayelsa have condemned crisis rocking Orama and Otua Saga communities. Delta State government has pledged grants to address the scourge of HIV. Release of internal messages has raised more questions about safety of Boeing's 737 MAX. Be careful with inflammable materials this Hamilton to avoid fire outbreak. The news was edited by Victory Isoni and the production team. My name is Rachel Onah. Thank you very much for listening. Good afternoon.